In the conversation, religious festivities are supposed to herald joy, but the rising cost of essential commodities continue to cast a shadow on preparation for the coming el-Kabir. In Abuja, ram sellers are lamenting low patronage as prices of rams continue to soar ahead of the celebrations. At the major cattle markets in the capital city, rams now sell at between 180,000 naira and 1.2 million naira, depending on the size. Traders say the price surge is due to high transportation costs, insecurity affecting livestock supply, and overall inflation. All right, first of all, gents, all gotten your rams?
I was actually born a Muslim.
Oh, okay.
My late father had this very big mosque in Ikorodu. Our mosque used to be the biggest in Ikorodu. So I was brought up as a Muslim. But along the line, I became a Christian.
Okay.
But I am conversant with Muslim festivities. When my mom was alive, I used to buy ram for her, too, actually, for her to be able to distribute because she likes to distribute ram to people. So since I lost my mom, I've stopped that, but I still kill ram.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
But this time, I don't buy. I get
gifts.
That's some. Yes, I get gifts from some well-meaning Nigerians who doesn't want me to die of hunger. So they send me rams.
All right, now let's go into the conversation. Now with this issue of because killing of ram is central to the el-Kabir celebration, but what impact will this low patronage, have on this year's celebration?
Yeah, it's a sign of the times. We have to acknowledge that things are quite difficult and inflation rate is very high. So if it affects every other thing, especially food items, we cannot expect that it will not affect ram during this time. And the price, though 180 to 1.2 million, it seems to be high.
Very
But
high.
in the last few years, it has been like that. This year could be maybe a bit higher, but for some time now, the prices of ram have quite gone through the roof.
Do you think it's greed on the part of the sellers?
No, it's not that. It's a combination of different factors.
Okay.
One is basic economics of demand and supply. Naturally, if demand is outstrip supply, naturally the price will go up.
True.
And because the supply side of it is not as robust as it used to be, most people do not know that most of the rams that we used to kill is actually from Niger and not Nigeria. It's actually from Niger. But now there is insecurity in Niger and the Sahel region, and there's a lot of part of the north where we can supplement security, make things difficult for people. Sure. So the supply is not as robust as it used to be. And the demand is still there.
It's still
because the Muslims are still there. They will still want to kill the ram. So naturally the price will go up. Yes.
All right, Tunde, talk to me. Why do we always have this every year? The price go 1.2 million, Tunde.
Well, I think, like he said, the demand side of it continues to be as it was in the past. And the supply has been reducing because of a lot of associated factors, like the economy, like the border issue. Like he said, most of the rams we got are from the Niger Republic. They have their own internal laws. Like this year, they said that they don't want a lot of ram dealers to transport it out of Niger because they don't want scarcity within their country. So they put a lid on it on how much you can do, which means most of the ram that we get from Niger either smuggled out here. If it is smuggled out here, the cost will go up. If the cost goes up, it will not be affordable to the ordinary Nigerians that used to do it. But what I always tell people is that, yes, there are festivities. The Salah will come and go. Christmas will come and go. There must be life after that. People should not go beyond their means, capacity now. Like there's a saying in my town that you do as you are capable of. People should try as much as possible to do whatever within their means now, because there will be life after the celebration.
But is there something the government can do to actually check? He said it's not just this year; it's been happening for a long time.
Yes, that's
something. Is there something the government can do?
The government. The only thing government can do is what they do. Every year, different arms, different level of government actually buy a lot of ram and give to people. Okay. Almost most state governors, especially in the north, they do that. The local governments, they do that. A lot of local governments buy rams and give people within society. You know, so that is what they can do. You cannot, because the government is not in a position to control the supply side of things. Okay. Except they want to go into livestock. Now we have a ministry who can maybe not encourage people to be able to do that within Nigeria, and then we have a lot of it. Government, that's what government can do. Try to see how they can stimulate growth in that sector. And then they also buy from the market and give to some people. So they won't need to now go, they will reduce the number of people that will now go and compete for the ones that you sell in the market. I
was having a conversation with someone. He said maybe ram subsidies, just for people to be able to buy it is maybe a lot easier.
Well, I think
what do you think the government
we have to understand one issue. It's a question of need. Ram for now, it is a question of to satisfy religious want. But it's not.
No, it's not compulsory.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not compulsory. The Quran says you may not kill if you can't afford to keep ram.
So it's not a question of need. It's a question of what the people want. But what I think is that, like he said, the federal government has created the Ministry of Livestock. Yes. You can breed this thing in Nigeria. You can breed it in Nigeria. So there must be conscious effort on behalf on the part of all the levels of government to breed as many rams as possible. But they don't know, not only during the el-Kabir, during Easter too, and during Christmas. During Easter, people kill chicken and turkey. During Christmas, they kill chicken, turkey, and ram too. So it should be for all season thing. It should not be for this period, you know. If government can go into it, now that we have Ministry of Livestock, the price will come down. The dependency on Niger and some other Sahel region will be reduced.
And I think it needs to be emphasized, it is not compulsory.
It's not compulsory. People should do what they can.
Yes, that's what Hadith says.
Exactly.
That's what Hadith, not the only book, but that's what Hadith says. You know, the teachings of Prophet Muhammad. Now, if you cannot afford it, you don't have to stress yourself to do it. You know, it's not unlike the 5 pillars of Islam. It's not one of it.
People should not sacrifice the payment of their children's school fees.
Yes.
I like this part.
There are a lot of people,
because
of their children's school fees, during that time, their eyes will be up. They won't pay their children's school fees, and yes, they go
and because they just have
that would be irresponsible.
Super irresponsible.
That would be irresponsible if you don't pay your children's school fees because of ram.
Education and well-being of their immediate family because of one-day event. You will kill it, eat it, and you distribute it, and that will be the end after 24 hours. Then you go back to basics.
No.
There's no point for doing that.
All right, then.